What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast. I am excited, you guys. Super excited. The one and only Griff is in the house. What's up, Griff?
What's happening, sis?
Listen, I'm excited to have you on here on the Morning Jump podcast. Thank you for just accepting. Listen, I was supposed to have had you on here like 2 months ago.
Right. Hey, listen, it happens when it can happen.
Right, life happens, and I know that we both are busy doing our thing, and you're working hard. And listen, we appreciate you for doing what you do because we can't go without life without laughing. So, and you're a
Listen,
part of
I
that crew.
appreciate the offer. Thank you for even wanting to interview me. I see you on the morning show getting yours off, and I appreciate it. So salute to you too.
Thank you so much. So we want to go ahead and get into this because we want to know about you. They know Crystal Whitaker already, so we're going to go in with Griff, the one and only. So let's start here. Tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Griff. I am originally from Los Angeles and San Jose. I'm a real Cali dude. I'm from the Bay and the bottom of California. Griffin is actually my last name, so they've been calling me Griff since I've been playing professional sports. When I was in the military, they called me Griff all the time, and it's been my stage name since April
Yeah.
14th, 1995. So lived in I'm a military vet. I was in the army. I lived in Germany almost 5 years. I came back, started comedy in Washington, D.C. I was performing at a comedy club, and Frank Ski's producer, Tara Thomas, saw me at the Improv in D.C. opening up for Mark Curry. That was in 97. A couple months later, I won Comedian of the Year in DC, and they called me on the radio in Baltimore. And Frank Ski put me on the radio for the first time for a week. Didn't hear from him for a year and a half. And he
Oh,
started the Frank Ski Morning Show in Atlanta in 98. And so I
wow.
lived in Atlanta for about 21 years doing radio, Frank Ski, Hot 1079, 18 morning show. I learned everything in Atlanta. Atlanta taught me how to be a father, how to hustle, how to work. My kids are from out there. And I've been in Texas, Dallas, Texas for the last 5 years is where we broadcast Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary on May 10th. And we've been broadcasting from the house for the last year and a half, but it looks like we'll be going back to work probably after July.
Wow. Well, that's great. I'm glad everything is like getting back into like the norm. I mean, it's not for me. I don't think it's going to ever get back to where it completely was. But you know, I'm just glad that everything is actually where you can actually travel and have a good time. But I want to let's go back a little bit from where you began all of this. So, as a young Griff growing up in, Cali, so how was that for you? Did you always know that comedian or being a comedian was in your reach for you?
I wanted to be a I wanted to be a comedian since I was 3 years old. My mother worked at convalescent homes, and she
Mhm.
would put the old people in a half a circle, and she would tell me go make them laugh. So I was on a geriatric tour the first better years of my life. um, but I never had a plan B. It was a fifth grade teacher, Miss Gentes, who told me that you want to be a comedian. I know, but comedians are smart. So she gave me books. I was like, wait a minute, I ain't never seen no comedian read on stage. Like, you a teacher, you don't know nothing about
Right.
this life. But on that day, she gave me Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. Judy Bloom, Super Fudge, and Mark Twain. And it started the trajectory of me being a bibliophile, which is an avid reader, but also just want to be a sponge for information.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome too, because I know that a lot of people that's in that being a comedian or being in just something that they really love, they really draw it up and then just run after it and just really just pursue their potential in it. So I know for me, I love to sing, I love makeup, so I run with it. I
Nice.
love it. In my podcast, I do it as well. My Facebook Live makeup, and I just love that too. But I know for me, when I was growing up, my parents like threw singing on us because they didn't know we could sing until like we got on up in our teens, just a little bit not before teens, just a little bit, but we were singing the Little Mermaid song, and they was like, "Hey," we was like, "Hey, y'all need to sit down.
Which
Let us
one?
show y'all."
Nowhere to stare. What the?
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, and we sung that, and they was like, "What? Y'all can sing?" And then my dad became the nice Ike Turner, so it was just a
Duh.
constant thing.
He gonna make his babies. His baby's gonna sing.
Right, and then it was just churching, revivals, all that from there on. It was like, okay, brothers been musicians and singers and
Nice.
ushers in the church. It was just a constant thing. The door open, we were there. So I
Where are
know
you
how that
from
feeling.
originally?
Cave City, Arkansas.
Nice.
So it's named because Cave City sits on a cave, and it's like the worst cave in the world. We went. It was our senior trip. Let me tell you, Cave City is like 1,200 people there. Maybe this small handful of Black people. And we grew up there. Me and my
What's
family and a
what's
couple
it
others.
next to?
Um, Little Rock. We're an hour and a half from Little Rock.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, yes. So it's just a little small town, country town. I am a country girl. Throw some sticks, I'm gonna throw them right back at you.
Yeah, you from Cave City. You don't have to tell us you a country girl. You fine.
Right, right. But world's sweetest watermelon. We have the best watermelon ever.
Where you at right now?
Batesville, which is 12 miles from Cave City. So I didn't move too far from it.
I'm gonna get
Listen,
out of Cave City when I grow up.
right.
Moved up the street. Stop playing.
It was right up the street, but 10,000 people was at. So basically, Batesville was the working place for everybody. So if you lived in Cave City, you either worked there, a couple of places there to work, or you drove to Batesville to get, jobs and stuff. So yeah,
Got it.
that's how that was. But let's talk about you. Enough about me. So I know that for you, you wear so many hats. And I know that the comedian, the on-air personality, motivational speaking, where did that come into play, the motivational speaking? Because I love to motivate women, especially, and reach their heart, not just talking to them, but reaching their heart. So what's your motivation and motivational speaking?
I don't like to villainize my parents, but I saw a lot of abuse growing up.
Yeah.
Um, my dad had a bad 80s and 90s. I'll just say that. I love him so much now. Happy Father's Day in advance. Uh, um, and it's just been my passion since I can remember to help people not feel
Yeah.
like how I felt.
Yeah.
And you know, our tragedy is everybody else's comedy. That's the drama mass, a happy mass and a sad mass.
Yeah.
And I was just weeping with Shanita Morris, Chocolate, and we were saying, how isn't it crazy that God will take somebody like us who's seen the
Yeah.
worst and just wanted to die at sometimes, that
Mhm.
he would use us to encourage and inspire people through laughter. And I just take it as a big responsibility. Um, and I thank God for being obedient when I wasn't. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is I mean, my whole life I was speaking to the kids. In school, I went to this school that was overcrowded, this all white school. Basically, I was the fifth black person at this school, right? My junior and senior year. It took me a semester to tell the other four black people there, y'all black too. What's wrong with you? Like, and they were still going, I don't know, Griff.
Oh no. That's funny. That's so hilarious.
I went, but in that school, we had a class called conflict management.
Mhm.
So the class literally was teenagers working with teachers to stop kids from fighting and having, so if you got in a fight, if Crystal and Lanika got in a fight, they would bring you to conflict management. We would talk to one of the people on one side, they would talk to the other person on the other side, and we would resolve it, bring them together. If y'all start tripping, you can get suspended. We don't care, but we just trying to save
Yeah.
you from getting suspended. So I've been doing it since I was a kid, man.
Wow. So that's kind of like big to your heart to reach young people and inspire
I
them where to go.
It's God told me he would make me everything I dreamed to be as long as I told people about him and help
Mm,
those kids who I know nobody know how to help except somebody who went through it.
right, right. So that's your foundation, right? The process is
The Process Success
process
Foundation
success.
is,
Yeah.
after all these decades, is what I ended up calling it, what I do on the philanthropy side. And if I can take kids to uh, uh, a Michelin tire plant, right, where they make
Mhm.
tires and they put them in a mold, I
Right.
take the kids to see the mold and they see how the tire gets made. It's hot rubber and then it gets put in something, then it has to dry, and then they put well, if I can teach them the process of a tire being made, then I can teach them the process of forgiveness, the
Right.
process of love, the process of not quitting. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I named it after. And the Bible verse that goes with the foundation is Matthew 9:29. And out of the Passion Version, a lot of people don't know the Passion Version. They know the Message Bible and the Amplified,
Hmm.
but out of the Passion Version, it says, you will have what your faith, you will have what, babe, what's 929? You will have what your faith desires. Oh
You
no,
just always
I
helping
know what
me.
it is. I remember, you ain't got to tell me. I can't hear you anyway. It's you will have what your faith expects. So what are you
Okay.
expecting? What are you
Right.
wanting? If you ain't expecting nothing, guess what you're about to get 1000% of? Hey.
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got
See?
to teach that can be taught. Faith can be taught. Faith can be
Yeah.
stretched. Faith can change you, you know?
Absolutely. I always tell people that I have that crazy faith. I move on faith and always moved on faith ever since I was a little girl, ever since my mom taught it to me. So I definitely have, have the word, have God definitely in me and know how to use that faith in time. So I know how to dig deep and like, hey, God, I need you to work this. And I'll be talking to him just like I'm talking to you. Be like, dang, God, come on now. I know you can do this for me. I ain't got time for no games. I need this to
Right.
work right now. But I know that that's just the big heart of people like you, entrepreneurs, businessmen that's out here doing the thing. I love it. Salute you, brother. And especially being a vet too, just been in the army and just doing great things. And what age did you go into like
I
the army?
joined the
And
army when I was 17.
why so young?
I graduated from high school when I was 17. So I just happened to we graduated in June. I turned 18 in September. So I finished basic training at 17 years old. I was the youngest
Wow.
uh, platoon sergeant in the army at that time.
So did you even just take that with you too to like help different ones that's in the army too and just really
Nah,
encourage them as well?
I joined the army to spite my dad. Let's go back to him. He was a Marine, and my whole life, all I heard was hoorah, the Marine man is a good man, and Semper Fidelis and Semper
So you wanted
Fi.
to do that, Griff? You wanted
And
to
I
do it?
joined the army just to be like, But when I joined the Army,
Right.
my Marine drill instructor daddy says, "Oh, you joining the Army. The Army mean ain't ready for the Marines yet." I said, but I copied Morse code during Desert Storm. I had a top secret security
Wow.
clearance when I was 18. And I think, the military just taught me how to be grown, how to be self-sufficient, how to be a
Mhm.
leader. It taught me better leader skills, more leader skills. And,
Yeah.
I took those and I ran with them.
Wow. So I know that, being young like that too, 18, that's very young too, and having those responsibilities.
I
Did you
was
ever
trying to
feel
get, I was trying to get a what's that thing called? Emancipated when I was 15. So
wow.
yeah.
So that's a lot of responsibility for a young man. Did you ever feel like overwhelmed at some point in that?
Man, I was going through so much hell at the house. I wanted to be out at 12. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow. Wow.
I was actually going to courthouses and asking lawyer teacher friends, like, how can I get a GED and dip on everybody? Like, you know what I'm saying? So leaving home at 17, and I never went back. I'm not one of those people who, I fell on some hard times and I gotta go stay on my daddy's couch or my mama's couch. I dealt with my hard times in their face, and I
Yeah.
and I and I overcame them through the grace of God. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
God covered me. He say He blesses babies and fools. I take either one of them. Maybe I'm His favorite baby fool. I don't know.
Listen,
Like,
I think we all been that once upon a time in our lives. So
yeah,
you're not the one that's out there standing by yourself for
I
sure.
can
I
hear
know
you. I'm just stopping this video for a second, so keep
no,
going.
you're fine. So I know that the author in you as well. So I know that you wrote a book really about being with your mom or about your mom. It's called Cats and Puppies.
Yes,
What, what,
I wrote a book for moms raising sons from the
okay.
perspective of a son raised by his 16-year-old mother.
So where did the name, the title of the
The
book come
cats
from?
and puppies, um, Dr. Dr. John Gray wrote a book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, but
Mhm.
we're not different planets, we're different species. So imagine cats can only, if you can put this in an analogy, a cat has puppies, right? A dog and a cat can have puppies at the same time, right? Something happens to the dog dies. Well, the cat can then raise the puppies as its own, right?
Mhm.
But then when
Yes,
those
yeah,
puppies grow up, all the cat can do is tell it things it saw dogs do. Like,
right,
I
yeah,
think a dog pee on a tree. I think a dog, when you throw a frisbee, I think he's supposed to get it. You ever threw a anything at a cat? They be so offended. Like, what is you
right.
doing in my life? Um,
Like
and
what
I,
you
I
doing?
I learned that my mom was a girl. When I was like 9, like I realized, oh, you a girl. You just be talking like a dude. You a female. And I think all boys go through a time in their life where they realize their mom ain't a scary, tyrant monster. She just be yelling all the time because we
Right.
boys. So the
Listen,
book
I
is
need that right now, Griff, because my son is 18 and he's one like, oh, I got it, mom. You need, I got it. I can do this all by myself. And I'm like, boy, you don't even have a clue.
but the thing is, that's what make y'all moms. That's not a bad thing, but it's something in a boy. It's something in about to be a man that's greater than y'all. And y'all be trying to hold it down, hold it down, hold it down, when
Right.
really you need to be, man, let's go. Okay. Now, when you fall on your face, you big idiot, I'm going to be right here laughing with the hydrogen peroxide. Like,
Right.
it's just how we are. No girl, unless you're a tomboy, and I love tomboys. Erica Campbell's a tomboy. My wife's a tomboy. Tomboys ain't funny looking girls. Tomboys was the cute girls that just wanted to be nosy around the boys, and they could run track and they was fast. And if you hit them on their butt, they would chase you around school till they hit you in your chest. Like them was
Right.
real tomboys. Like a boy look at a tree and say, "Let's climb the tree." And then let's jump on the roof and then jump on the roof. No girl literally walks past a house and go, I want to jump off that roof, unless
Right.
she a tomboy. My mama was a tomboy. So I was raised by a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Listen, I was definitely a tomboy. My mom mentioned to me, she was like, "When are you going to be a girl?" I said, "I am a girl. What are you talking about?" Like, what are you talking about? And then I, grown up and got into makeup and dressing cute, and
Then you went
that's
real
just
girl on them
right, right.
with the bangs.
But
I
I
see the
still keep.
bangs, not the bangs.
Yeah. Listen, I don't mind getting my nails dirty. That's for sure. Behind all this makeup and cuteness, there's a little rough there too. There's a little rough too. So I know that you work with a very special young lady, Erica Campbell. So how has that been for you? I know on the Get Up with morning show with her. How has that been?
Erica Campbell from the group Mary Mary has changed my life. She changed my spiritual life.
Mhm.
She motivates me and inspires me every day and probably don't even know it.
Mhm.
I see her be a gifted singer, a gifted
Yeah.
writer, a mom, a wife, a sister to seven other sisters and a brother, um, a friend, a helper, and I think when you work with an empath and you are an
Mhm.
empath, you just learn so much about yourself, and then I never forget that she's Erica Campbell from the group Mary Mary. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like I play with her and we be laughing and woo woo woo. But I know who she is,
Right.
and
Right.
that's always special to me because her songs have I can remember many times where I was on my knees crying and
Mhm.
I Can't Give Up Now came on, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
like so Erica means a lot to me, man. I'm blessed that she picked me to do this show.
Listen, Griff, now I know when I first met you, and that was at the second year Spin Awards in, I want to say Atlanta. I think it was in Atlanta.
And the
And
A.
yeah, I met you and I was like, dang, he's cool. I'm like, this dude is nice. And you were like, hey, and you were like, you got a piece of paper? I was like, no. And you ripped off somebody's brown envelope and like wrote your number down, and I lost it and everything. I was like, dang. I was like, I lost his number. I could have just, been chit chatting with him all this time. But how you impact me that day, that night, I was like, man, this guy is really, really inspirational. Even I didn't even know that you were a comedian at the time. That was my first time ever meeting you, knowing who you were. And James Patterson come up to me. He was like, hey, Crystal, you need to meet Griff. He's over there. Go sneak by him, say his name. And I was like, why? I don't even know who this cat is, this dude is. And he was like, just do it. He's one that you need to know. And from there on, you have been definitely inspirational to me. I watched your 2 Trillion show. I love it. It's very inspiring, very knowledgeable, all of it. I'm just so
I
grateful
just, 2
for
Trillion
you.
Thoughts, my digital talk show. It's a podcast as well, but you can see it too.
Yeah,
It's funny how you talk about doing a whole bunch of things right now. And I got these inner ears in, right? I got my computer because I copy Morse code. A lot of people don't know. According to the Army, this ain't just a statement that Griff is making.
right.
I got the best ears in the whole army. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in
Wow.
my ear right now, I got 2 trillion thoughts running with Slim from 112 talking. I also have you in my ear, and I'm trying to hear my wife, and I'm doing it, but I am concentrating. You understand me?
I hear you. I hear you. And also you have again, you have this beautiful wife that you just got married.
Lenika Fanay. I just got married December 30th. We going
December,
on
yeah.
6 months. When I walked in the house today from the gym, she was looking at the wedding link. You know what I'm saying? So that means I'm about to get me some hashtag guilt-free sex tonight. That's what I'm about to get, Crystal. Some guilt-free.
Right,
All the
right.
guilt-free people with me make some noise. But I love her so much. I'm 50 years old this year, and I never had this much peace and joy at the same
Wow.
time in my whole life. And it's because of my favor. You know, Proverbs 18:22 say, he that findeth a good
Yeah,
thing, he that findeth the wife finds a good
yeah,
thing, but then obtains favor from
yes.
the Lord. So I'm like, wait a minute, I already thought I was getting favor. I'm about to get some
Right.
more. Bring
More.
it on.
Hey, Griff, in you saying that, bringing that up, I wanted to ask you something. I know that "Cater to You" by Beyonce and Destiny's Child, they're talking about
That's
like
the
taking.
stupidest, that's the stupidest thing I heard this week about them canceling. Listen,
Yeah,
Beyonce and Michelle and them don't care about you canceling. They got their money. They still,
right,
Beyonce still get a check every month if you cancel it or not. Like,
right.
and what a dumb society we live in. This is coming from the same
Yeah,
people that's lying about their PPE money, from the same people that
right,
is super duper irresponsible, and from the same people that don't go to church. So I don't care.
right. So I know for me, I love the song. When I heard the song, I was like, oh, okay. But I was actually talking to G Wade, and he was talking about nobody listens to the beginning of the song of what the guy brings to the table first for her to cater to him. And I was like, that's true. I didn't think about it that way. I don't know the words of the song all the way, but for me, it's just a really great song to me.
I don't know the song, but I'm a man and I like that song by Destiny Child.
Me
So
too.
I
Me
like the
too.
beat, I like the singing, I like how that bass come in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoever want to cancel something, man, go to school. What
Right.
was your get a
Exactly.
master's or something? I
Exactly.
don't know. I
Well,
ain't get one.
I
I'm
know
being
right here on the Morning Jam podcast, which is your friend Crystal Whitaker. We appreciate you being on here. But before we go, Griff, I wanted to just really get your thoughts on this too. Get those 2 trillion thoughts to running on this subject. Monique came out with talking about
said all you women look
yes,
crazy wearing bonnets,
yes.
and she was right. My comment on it is I'm a man. I don't know what women supposed to do. I got daughters, but I thought she was very clear and precise in what she said. I love that it all came from love.
Yeah,
If it come from a place of love, you got to receive it. Now, if she said, man, I saw these horrible, man, you black girls look like, if it came from that place,
right.
it'd be maybe Monique on one. But it came from so much
Hmm.
love. And why wouldn't you want to look better for you?
Right.
Why would you? Why would, I would never let my daughters leave the house with a bonnet or a hair net, or I don't know what y'all wear, curlers.
Listen,
Like you,
I don't do that. For me, I don't. I think that women should just really represent themselves or present themselves as really queens. If we're gonna be out here calling each other queens and repping this good stuff, listen, we really need to just walk in it. Don't do all that talking. Just walk it, and your walk will tell the story.
people who say they queens, that's a it's a slippery slope, because all the women that say they queens and you believe in yourself and you believe you royal and you a real woman, but y'all
Right.
be dating the peasants though.
That is so true on so
Like
many
y'all
levels.
be and you be trying to dress the peasant up and show him the castle, and he be in the castle like this. Man, I always wanted to know what was in here before.
Right.
And
Girl, what
after
your
three,
they be like,
and
girl,
now
where your
you
room at?
frustrated with him because he ain't a king, but you did that to yourself. If you gonna stand, if you gonna scream queen, you gotta
Right,
stand on queen.
right.
You gotta wait.
He wasn't even a prince. He's out there being a
He wasn't
servant.
a prince. He was the blacksmith. Stop dating the blacksmiths just because they make fresh swords.
I love it. I love Griff, I so appreciate you for coming on here, just giving us just a smidget of your time. I appreciate you, my love for you and Lanika. I love you guys. Y'all are so amazing, and just been in it for just a short period of time. I love it. I love it.
Thank you for having us. On behalf of Lee Nika Fanay and myself, we appreciate you. You stay blessed, my dear, and keep inspiring and encouraging, and always do it with excellency because you
Yeah,
never know who watching. You
right,
never
right.
know. Tyler Perry used to go to plays around the country where nobody was at the play, just the players, you know, boyfriends and girlfriends and some of their mamas. And it'd be an
Yeah,
empty theater. And he would go in and he would go to the back and say, "Hey, I'm Tyler Perry. I love you." So you never know,
yeah.
if 7 people come to a comedy show, what if one of them 7 people is Steven Spielberg because his sister loved this comedy night and she come every
Right,
Wednesday and Steven was in town and you need to come with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, if it's 7 people, they about to get the 700 people show. If
right.
it's 700 people, they're gonna get the 7,000 people show. Like you gotta feel like that in this business.
Right. I agree with you. And thank you again. So before we get off, can you let the people know where they can reach you, connect with you to get, on a show or even book you for, a show
Absolutely.
that
If you want to book me, I do all shows, churches, clubs, kids shows, Zoom, virtual shows, in-person shows. Holler at my manager, Veronica Watkins. You can go to We Want to Book Griff at gmail.com. We want to book Griff, spelled properly, at gmail.com. And I'm at 2 trillion on everything. The number 2, the word trillion. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter. That's my website. Facebook, I believe Griff is 2 trillion or something like that. But holler at me. You can find me and listen to Get Up Mornings with Eric and Campbell Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m., 5 to 9 Central. Check your local listings. I always wanted to say that.
what you do. Well, thank you so much, Griff. We appreciate you. Continue to do what you do, bro. And we love you so much right here. Peace
Crystal
out,
from the
guys.
cave.
Yes, Crystal from the cave.
If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.